Hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. And today's video, like you can tell from the title, is gonna be a monthly favorites. And I say monthly favorites with air quotes because I really wanted to do a specific makeup favorites and flops kind of video recently. I don't know, a few days back this idea came into my mind that a lot of times when I do these favorites videos, I talk about everything apart from makeup. Like with makeup, I just feel like I don't have a lot. So I tend to repeat stuff very often, but then when I think that okay, I'm repeating stuff often, sometimes it also ends up happening that I just don't talk about makeup at all on my channel. Like on the rare occasion where I'm doing a video specifically where I'm talking about makeup, apart from that, I don't really talk about like the makeup I'm currently using and stuff, and really get to share my thoughts or how I use certain products, how I incorporate them in my routine. Like stuff like that, for some reason, it just gets swept under the rug and I never get the chance to do that. So from now onwards, I'm going to make a note to maybe like every 3 or 4 months, whenever I do these favorites videos, I'm just going to specifically talk about the makeup that I've been using since the past like 3 or 4 months, and really share my thoughts and opinions on which products I have in my collection that I'm really loving and using every day, and then others which I'm not maybe loving so much, or maybe there are specific things that I don't like about those products. So yeah, that's what this video is. That's what this video is going to be. And yeah, I have some different stuff that I've been really using and loving recently, some stuff that I have been using but maybe not loving as much, and I do want to share my thoughts and opinions on that. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be. And just give me a second. Okay, I didn't realize earlier when I was filming the intro that my camera was like teda, like आड़ा रखा हुआ था phone. So yeah, now I fixed that, and the lighting is also looking a little better. So yeah, now let's get started. So I have some before I actually get started, let me tell you what all I'm going to talk about. So I have some powders to talk about, pressed powders and loose powders. I have an eyeliner to talk about. I have some lipsticks, and I also have nail paints. I feel like nail paints is another one of those things where it doesn't technically fit into makeup, but yeah, I don't, मतलब nail care को कौन सी category में डालूं फिर ऐसा हो जाता है. So then that is also one that I like barely get to talk about on my channel, and because I don't want to do a specific video just about nail products, because I feel like are people really interested in that? So yeah, I'm just going to combine that as well in today's video. So yeah, let's get started. I'll go category wise. So we'll talk about makeup first, and then I'll talk about nails towards the end of the video. So if you're not interested in that, you can like skip that part and leave the video early, and if you are interested in that, you can stay till the end. You can skip ahead if you want to. Maybe I'll just leave some timestamps as well. We'll see how we work that across. But yeah, we'll start with powders first, because that is typically the only base product I honestly use on a pretty regular everyday basis. So I have a pressed powder to talk about, and I also have a loose powder to talk about, and coincidentally both of these are from PAC. Trust me, that wasn't planned whatsoever, but this one I've had for a while. I think a year or so, over a year. I did buy this in the middle of the pandemic, I do remember that, and that too I bought this in store where the shops were opening up last year. I think a little bit earlier, like maybe June, July last year, when shops had started opening up. That's why I went to buy this in store, and then this I bought actually very recently. So one of these I like and one of these I don't like as much. So the one that I like a lot is this one, and this one I do like, but I do have some issues that I'm going to talk about with this as well. So let me talk about this first. So this is, like you can tell, the Studio HD powder from a PAC. This is what it looks like. It is a translucent powder. I do want to mention that, because I know powders like these can look scary just because it's like straight up white, but trust me, it's translucent, and it is the most beautiful translucent powder that kind of takes away any excess shine. I feel like the Kosas Cloud Set powder is one that is spoken about so much, like on a more global scale. Like in US and Canada, you will see bloggers absolutely raving about it, and I feel like this is something very similar, which is not a baked format. It's a regular pressed powder, but it does a very similar thing. I don't think it controls oil, I do want to mention that, but it's just something that's going to blur your skin. It's going to take away any of the slightly excess shine. It's not going to be super oil controlling or anything like that, but it just does a great job as a great base just to even out your skin smoothen it out. If there are any slight imperfections, this will kind of like make that go away temporarily. Obviously it's makeup, it's not like a permanent fix or anything like that, but yeah, I absolutely love it. The main reason why I wanted to really try this out is because I think the packaging is also great. It's like a magnetic compact, which I love, and apart from that, the kind of main reason why I was really excited to try this out was because the Faces powder, which is also translucent, which I absolutely freaking love, is, I would consider that to be underrated, because I feel like I don't see a lot of people talk about it on Instagram or YouTube. But when you go to buy it on Nykaa, a lot of times it's out of stock. And I will say though that products like these don't last for very long if you're using them on a regular basis. So I use these powders literally, I'm not kidding, every single day. I will either use this or some sort of a powder every single day. So if I'm using this regularly every single day, it's not gonna last very long. Like, I'm surprised I've not hit pan on this already, and I feel like, am I close to hitting pan? I don't feel like I am. I feel like this comes with a lot of product, because it doesn't look anywhere close to like I'm gonna hit pan on this, but I've been using it regularly, religiously, very, very often. So I feel like for that reason, you will probably go through these quickly. Like, I went through my first Faces compact of this pressed powder, like similar to this pressed powder, very, very quickly. So for that reason, I feel like you're gonna have to repurchase this constantly, and whenever you go to buy it, if it's out of stock, it's like, अब मैं क्या करूँ? I can't live without it, and I want to have a backup. So either you have to buy like multiples whenever you find it in stock, which can also kind of be not the best idea. So I really want to have a favorite product that not everyone loves, because then I will not get enough for myself. So it's always good to have an alternative. So like, if I'm not able to get the Faces one in stock, then I'll go to the pack one. That's how. So yeah, that was about this right here. Now moving on to this, which I've had for way more longer, and I can give you a more rounded opinion on this. So it's also what I'm wearing right now on my skin, and like you can tell, it doesn't make your skin super matte. Now obviously some of this is natural oils as well, that is giving this more glowy kind of appearance. I would say that when you first apply this, it's pretty matte, but then throughout the day it becomes more skin like, and this kind of blurs into the skin completely, where it doesn't look like your skin is ever powdery or anything like that, which I do really like about this. And I've never really had a problem, for the most part, where I ever feel like a loose powder is way too powdery on the skin and it doesn't like make my skin look natural or anything like that. So that I do really, really, really like about this. What I don't like about it is more kind of shallow. It doesn't really matter, but if you think about it, it does matter, and that is the packaging. So when I first got it, I feel like the packaging was more convenient. I don't know, I never had these problems when I first got it, but now that the more I've been using it, the more I've been noticing that I'm really getting a problem with the packaging. So okay, I moved it around so much कि अभी ना इसमें ऊपर काफ़ी सारा powder आ गया है. I don't know if you can tell. Let me show it to you. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of powder up here, and when I spoke, like the air out of my mouth kind of blew a little bit powder around. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly clean that up. But yeah, like I was saying, it can sometimes be hard to get powder out of this, and then sometimes it's more easier, but there's always so much of powder flying around, and I never thought I would complain about something like this, because I've always loved loose powder so much, because I feel like it also lasts longer. Like something like this would last me probably like 6 months to a year, even if I'm using it literally every single day. So I feel like for the quantity and the value for money, like this and this is pretty much the same price. It's very, very close, but this one is gonna last me like 2 months max. If it lasts for 2.5 months, it's amazing, whereas this would last for 6 months. So if you think about how much money you're putting into something like this, and then for how long it's lasting, a loose powder is definitely a much better value for money. But then sometimes it's just the convenience factor. Like, it's not that easy to like take around with you in your makeup bag and not have it spill everywhere, whereas this is more travel friendly. So it's really about picking out and choosing what is more convenient for you, what you think would be a better investment for you personally. So yeah, that is kind of my issue with this one. So yeah, if I have to recommend a loose powder that I love the formulation of and that is not as messy, I would say I prefer the K-Beauty loose powder way more. But again, with that also I will say that the quantity you get in that is not the best, and it can get a little bit expensive if you're not buying it on sale. If you're buying it full price, it can be a little bit more expensive. On sale it just feels like it's a better deal. But yeah, in this you get way too much product, and even though the packaging is not the most convenient, I like the economical perspective of it. I just don't like the packaging and how messy it can get. But yeah, product wise I do really like this. So yeah, do keep that in mind. Moving on to another product that I'm not the biggest fan of is this right here. So this is the Colorbar waterproof liquid eyeliner. So first of all, I don't want you guys to get confused between this and the other eyeliner that I had earlier from them, which I did use up, by the way. Spoiler alert, I will be doing a project pan update once I use up a good enough amount of products that I put in the project. But yeah, that one I did use up, spoiler. And I have noticed that people can get confused between the two, so I do want to give you guys the differences. So the overall body of both of them is the same, but the other eyeliner is called the all matte eyeliner, and that one, the dhakkan applicator part is like a black matte packaging. This one is like a copper or maybe like a dark rose gold. I don't know what to call it. I don't feel like I should call this rose gold because rose gold is much lighter. This is like a coppery rose gold, darker kind of shiny metally packaging, and this is the waterproof one. That one, the all matte eyeliner, is definitely not waterproof. If you use it in the monsoon season and your face gets wet, when you're getting wet in the rain, your eyeliner is definitely going to smudge and crease, and I feel like that's the main reason why I started looking out for a waterproof eyeliner. That being said, my timing was kind of off because when I started looking for a waterproof eyeliner, by that time the monsoons were already gone. Okay, they were gone. So it didn't kind of make sense to buy a waterproof eyeliner when it's not even raining anymore. So yeah, I didn't get to test out if this is actually waterproof or not. But what I will do is that today I'm wearing this actually on my eyes, and I will try to like wet my face just manually under tap water and see if it comes off or not. So yeah, I will try to let you know if this is waterproof or not. Again, I'm not going to typically do something like that. Typically, if I need a waterproof eyeliner, it's going to be because I'm going to get wet in the rain probably. So yeah, I will try to let you know so that it's helpful maybe for the next year when monsoons come around again. But what I don't like about this is actually the applicator and also the formula. I don't know if it's because of the waterproof thing that they have going on with this. Like, I'm sure they have some ingredient in this that makes it waterproof, and probably that is changing the formula a little bit because the all matte eyeliner is a matte. This, I feel like, has a more natural finish. Like, it doesn't have a shiny finish, it doesn't have a matte finish either. It's just a normal finish that I do like. But this eyeliner that you see on my eyes, it took me very hard, especially with this eye. It took me, sorry, I just used the wrong finger. Yeah, this was a better finger. So I don't know if you can tell, but right here it took me a lot of attempts to get like a clean line. So there is something about the formula, or maybe the applicator, I don't know what it is. Let me give you a close look of the applicator as well. So yeah, I don't know if it's the applicator issue or if it is the formula issue, but it can get super patchy sometimes, and it can be very, very hard to get a smooth, clean line, and it requires like multiple tries. Like, I feel like what I loved about the all matte eyeliner is that it's very easy and very quick to apply, also dries very quickly. This one does dry quickly, but it takes a lot of attempts and like a lot of corrections to be done to get the perfect eyeliner, and that is what I don't like as much about this one, in my personal opinion again. So yeah, do keep that in mind. Not the biggest fan of this. Again, I will test how waterproof it is and try to determine if it's worth it or not. I'm also planning on trying out other eyeliners that will hopefully have a better formulation and that are also waterproof as well. So we'll see. Still on the hunt for a really great waterproof eyeliner for the next monsoon season. So yeah, that was that. Moving on, next let's talk about some lipsticks, and I have 3. Again, 2 are from the same brand, and then we have this one as well to talk about. So the first 2 that I have to talk to you are the Smashbox Always On liquid lipsticks, and this I got the set, which is the Malvika Sitlani collaboration kit that she came out with Smashbox, and these 2 lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, the Always On liquid lipsticks. So the set that she came out with, so she did it for 2 years in a row, I think. This is the second collaboration, which I think happened, I want to say earlier this year, maybe end of last year, I can't remember quite clearly, but the 2 lipsticks that come in this set are Babe Alert and Driver's Seat. So Driver's Seat is a little bit more of a brighter, poppier, corally kind of a shade, whereas Babe Alert is more like a straight up pink. Babe Alert can definitely wash me out, and I am wearing it currently right now on my lips as well, mixed with a bunch of other colors that I did to make it work, whereas Driver's Seat looks very similar to what I have currently on my lips as well. I don't think these 2 work for me personally when I mix them together, so I just don't. I use both of them individually. I know that mixture of these 2 colors can work for some people. In fact, one of my friend who also owns this kit mixes the 2 and wears it that way, and it works for her. It doesn't work for me, so I just don't end up doing that. But when it comes to my review on these, my main thing with these is that I don't regret like purchasing the kit or anything like that. I do I'm happy that I did try it out, because I kind of got an idea what the formulation is like, and it's not the worst formulation, let me just tell you. But my main, not issue, but my main thing with this is that I don't think it's worth the money. I think there are so many other lipsticks out there that have amazing formulations, just as good as these, if not better, which come at a fraction of the price. And that is why it's really hard for me to justify a high-end liquid lipstick, or just a high-end lipstick formulation in general. It's just very, very hard for me to justify. So if you are someone out there who is in your teens, early 20s, you live on pocket money, or you've just started earning money and you save money every month to buy makeup, skincare, and like stuff like that, I just don't think that it's worth the money to like spend and splurge on something like these, because you can easily find similar shades from other brands in an equally good formulation that comes at a fraction of the price. So yeah, the full size of these is like 2,000 and above or something like that. I got 2 for $9.90, so that is still a steal, I feel like. But if you're buying the full size of one of these, or even if you're planning on like buying a few shades, I just can't justify the price. So for that reason, I wanted to share that I don't think it's worth the money, in my personal opinion. If you have tried them out, if you like it, and if you think that it's worth the money for you, go ahead and buy whatever you want to buy. I'm just here to share my opinion that I don't think that the Smashbox Always On liquid lipsticks are worth the actual full price of a full size, which is like 2,300, 2,500, something like that. I don't think it's worth that much. So yeah, that was that. Moving on next to this lipstick right here. This is the PAC Retro Matte Gloss, and if you guys know this, this is one of my absolute favorite liquid lipstick formulations ever, like ever. The shade Teddy Bear that I used to wear 2 or 3 years ago, and I still do, by the way. I recently also bought a new tube of Teddy Bear as well. When I bought this PAC powder online during the sale, I also bought a new tube of Teddy Bear, which is their liquid lipstick, also from the same range, by the way. When I say new tube of Teddy Bear, I know it sounds weird. Teddy Bear is basically their cult favorite shade, which has been following me for a few years. You would know there was a time where I literally wore that lipstick every single day. Even though I had a bunch of other lipsticks in my collection, I just couldn't wear anything else, and I only wore that lipstick. So yeah, this is also from the same range, and this is a new shade that I got, which I wanted it to be similar to my Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink in the shade Ruler, I think is the name of the pink one, and I wanted a shade basically that is similar to that. So I went in store, I took my Maybelline Ruler lipstick, the Super Stay Matte Ink, and I was looking for a similar shade, and the shade Pretty in Pink looked very similar when it was swatched on the hand. I do want to say that it's a very different shade when it's used like on your lips. This one I feel like is kind of similar to Soza, if you know. Again, I owned that as well from the Pack Retro Matte Gloss range as well. I think it's a little similar to that, but Soza is a little bit more like driver's seat. It's more on the coral side. This is more pink, but it's like a bright pink, like a warm bright pink. So this is not what I was expecting to be, which I'm fine with. Okay, I'm totally fine with. That was not my main issue with it, but something that I noticed every single time that I wore this, which kind of, if I'm being completely honest, really bothered me, because again, I hold the Pack Retro Matte Glosses to a very high standard. So what I noticed basically when I wore this every single time is that after a meal or after even if I'm wearing a mask and stuff and I'm wearing this lipstick underneath, I always found this to smudge, to fade, to like make me look like Hanuman, and like it would bleed outside and get super messy. I would have it all over my chin, I would have it around my upper lip and stuff like this, smudged a lot. And I don't know what is causing that, because there can be two reasons. Okay, one can be that this Pack Retro Matte Gloss formula has changed overall, different to what it was earlier. Like even Soza that I've owned earlier and that I bought a few years ago, that one never caused that problem, and that was also a bright shade. So that's what makes me think that either they have changed the formula, A, or B, they have a slightly different, like every lipstick from this range has a different longevity. Some of them last really long, don't transfer, don't smudge at all, don't feather at all, and then others do. Teddy Bear has never done that for me. Soza has never done that for me. This is called Pretty in Pink, and this just might be that way. Like different lipsticks have different formulas. That does tend to happen with certain ranges, so that can be the other reason. I don't know what it is, but I can personally tell you that this is something that I regret buying a little bit. Not just because the shade is not what I was expecting it to be, but also because of the formulation. That being said, of course, I still like the way it looks on me in terms of the color, and I can make it work for me by not wearing this on super long days. Like I won't wear this to work anymore, because when I'm at work, I obviously don't want to be bothering if my lipstick is fading or feathering or not, or smudging even. So I'll probably wear this like during filming and stuff, and I do really like to pair it with different outfits and wear it like that. So maybe I'll make it work that way for me. But I do want to mention that, just because I'm always constantly raving about the Pack Retro Matte Glosses so much, but if something doesn't work, it just doesn't work. So yeah, did want to mention this as well. And I know that I've been talking about, like, I feel like after I spoke about this, I have been constantly talking sort of negatively about products throughout this video, and I don't want that to be the case. So I'm gonna end with some of my favorite products, and those are nail paints. So I have, like you can see, many to talk about, and all of these are from Nykaa. So I have been building and adding a lot of nail paints to my collection, and somehow a lot of these have been from Nykaa. This is like more than 50% of my collection, and I do want to share some of my favorites. So the Nykaa Mirror Chrome Nail Lacquer. Now this is their again Mirror Chrome collection, and this is a silver in the shade Molten Sterling. This is my second one. I've owned a full bottle of this that I've used up in the past, and this is a repurchase that I bought, because a silver nail paint like this is honestly a classic and something that I absolutely have to have in my collection at all points. And I really love the formulation of this one, and I also like how it lasts on my nails. I like the color as well. It's the perfect tone, perfect shade, perfect everything. So yeah, this is one that is an absolute staple. Love that. And then another staple for me is just a black nail paint. Okay, I need to have black nail paints in my collection at all times, because that is the only shade that I wear on my toenails. So I got this black from their classic Nykaa collection, and it's in the shade Black Licorice. This is again, I think, my second bottle. I've owned one in the past, and then I repurchased this one. And when I was about to run out of my first one, I went in store, in like a beauty supply store, to buy the Nykaa nail paints. And when I asked her, just give me the Nykaa black nail paint, and she was like, do you want the matte one or do you want the regular finish? And I was like, oh, you have a matte one also? So that's when she showed me the Nykaa black matte nail lacquer, and this is in the shade Black Sesame Pudding. This is what it looks like. So I was like, Acha, I've never tried a black matte nail paint, so let me try it out. So I did end up buying both of these, and I do like both of them. Typically I use the regular one for my toenails, and if I ever feel like I want to paint my like, you know, hand nails black as well, then I use the matte one for my hands, and sometimes I use this for my toes as well. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, I did end up getting both of them, so I just wanted to quickly share that. I do like the formulation of those. And I also have one more matte nail lacquer from Nykaa, which is this one right here. It's a dark blue color. Again, the perfect undertone, perfect everything. And this one is in the shade Blueberry Comte. I don't know how you say this. It's COMPOTE 119. Again, a beautiful shade. This is my first bottle that I don't know if you can tell I'm almost out of. So I will be repurchasing this again because it's the perfect shade, perfect undertone, perfect everything. And I do also want to mention that the Nykaa matte nail paints look matte for the first few days once you use it, but eventually after you wash your hands and, you know, do a bunch of stuff around, the matte finish of it kind of goes away, and then it becomes like a regular finish. So if you want matte nail paints that look matte throughout the week, these are not the best formulation. I don't know if other matte nail paints even do that out there, but I just wanted to mention that in case anyone was wondering, because if you are buying a matte nail paint, you probably want it to be matte all the time, I guess. I don't really care as much. I just got these because I love the shade. The finish doesn't matter to me as much. So yeah, that was that. Moving on next to recent additions that I also have on my nails right now. So in case you were wondering what I have on my nails right now, these are the two nail paints that I have on my nails. And this one is the more nude, like you can see I've done like an alternate nail situation. So this is the nail paint, like this is the nail paint, which is this one right here from the Masaba by Nykaa collection, and it's in the shade Cool Guy number 276. So this is a nice mauve nude, kind of like deeper nude shade, which again really love. It would look great if you put this on all your nails as well. I still think that would look great, but I kind of like this alternate nail situation that I have going on. And this nail paint right here is this one. This is the shade Rose Sharbat from the Nykaa regular nail paint collection. So the same range that the black one is from, it's the same one. So these are some of my current go-to favorites, and like you can tell, I really like the Nykaa formulation in general as well when it comes to nail paints, which is why I end up buying more and more. Like if I like a shade and I say, okay, it's a Nykaa nail paint, I know that the formulation is great, I can just pick up another shade. So yeah, that is majority of what I have going on when it comes to my favorite nail paints. I do have one more shade that I really love, but I don't like the formulation as much. This is the Nykaa 9 to 5 Primer Plus Gloss Nail Colors, and this is again a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful blue that I have had on my nails for the past 2 weeks. So I painted my nails this morning, and that's why they're a little bit wonky as well. But I've had this on my nails for the past 2 weeks, and I love the color. I absolutely freaking love the color. I just don't like the formulation as much because it's a very watery, runny kind of formulation. It's very pigmented, but it's very watery and runny, which can also make it very messy. By the way, I forgot to mention what color this is. So the shade name is Indigo Ink. Okay, so love the color, and I will probably continue painting this, like painting my nails with this on a pretty regular basis. It's just that the formulation overall is not my absolute favorite. So I do want to mention that as well, just because of the runny aspect. I think it can get messy, but the color is beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful blue. So yeah, you can also actually, I feel like, tell that my nails are a little bit stained with the blue, but yeah, that was that. Those were all the nail paints and the makeup that I had to share with you. I know that I went on and on talking about some of these products for a very long time, which is why the video is long as well. So the timestamps are going to save you. That's all I have to say, and my voice is kind of leaving me because I filmed like 2 or 3 videos today back to back. So yeah, my voice is going now. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye bye.